lounging, son.
Welcome back to another episode of the Comic Lounge Podcast, guys. I am your host, the Incredible Dill, and with me, as always, my boy Ryan.
Guys, what up?
And
this week, the book we're talking about is a book that we have talked about many times. There's reviews on the site for both of us. I just reviewed the graphic novel less than a year ago. Excellence, Volume 1, dude. I mean, I love this book. This is the third time I'm reading it.
My man Spencer Dales, bro.
Oh goddamn, dude! I fucking love this book. Let's read the credits off, dude. Brandon Thomas, Khary Randolph, Emilio Lopez, A++++. This book is amazing. We both love it a lot. Khary Randolph, dude, is one of my favorite artists.
Yeah,
and
I would agree.
I knew of his art before. I saw it. I read it bits and pieces, but like this book made me a huge fan. This book made me a huge fan of Brandon Thomas. Like we've been talking about on our Future State episodes, like how much we love his Outsiders.
How much we're looking forward to his to all his stuff at DC coming up.
Yeah, dude. And, I know that I think we had Fables coming up on the podcast this month, but, it's Black History Month. And I'm like, you know what, let's do some books by Black creatives, right? I mean, like, why not shine some light? I know we kind of missed out on the first week because of when we actually recorded, so like it wasn't in my mind. But dude, Excellence had to be the first book we were going to talk about. And
yeah, I kind of it's like the right thing to do. My man Spencer Dales, bro.
I relate so much to him
the anger. There's just so much anger. Well, let's get into what Excellence is about. So it's this veiled society that lives within New York City, and they are tasked with protecting people of bloodlines that helped shape the world, right? So these people are called charges. The charges are basically people who are that important to the world, that important that they need a little bit of magic help from, this society. What are they called? Charges and
the Aegis or the
Aegis. They are supposed to shape your life, like. Instead, in one of the first missions Spencer has to do, he has to make sure that this guy in his test, in his trial, right? He has to make sure that this guy proposes to this girl. So he does this. Everything happens, and I'm not gonna get into it because, like, I don't want to ruin any of this. Like,
agreed.
I don't want to ruin any of this. And basically, they give a little nudge to make sure that you do the things that you're supposed to do, or that you don't do the things that you're supposed to do, or that you like are okay and safe, and make sure that your life ends up being the best possible life because you're deserving.
Right, but what's weird too, right, is that like the Aegis are all black and the charges are white always.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of interesting, like to do, to come at it from that angle. And, a little, like even more about Spencer, like he's late to the party.
He's a late bloomer.
Right. So like usually like you do your trials at a younger age, but he is so there's 10 families, right? The Dales family is is right at the top. And that's what's cool about this too, is you get like the grids, you learn a little bit about like what the rules of the Aegis are, what you can and can't do. And then the family.
They give you they always give you the rules. Like,
right.
They every issue.
Women aren't supposed to use magic.
Yeah.
But we see and hear that they kind of do. Like Spencer's mom's a badass.
Not Gigi, bro.
Gigi too. But like Spencer's dad's an asshole. And I can relate, So my biological father, so like not the dad, not my dad that raised me, you know what I mean? But like my biological father, I don't have a good relationship with. So like seeing this, I can relate to it on that respect. The anger and the rage inside him, like I relate a lot to that. And I think that it's funny, dude. Like even though I've read this 3 times in relatively a short period of time, because this book is not that old, but I've read it. I've read this 3 times. There's stuff that's been out for 10 years I haven't read 3 times. We talked about House of M last week. I haven't read that. You know what I mean? Like, this is 15 years. But I read it. That's how much I love this book, dude. Like, and I keep getting new, like, bits and pieces from it. I keep, like, pulling stuff from it that I didn't the first time or the second time. And, I'm just really I'm so invested in this world and these characters that this gap of time that we haven't had a new issue has been really, really hard for me. Like, I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, I just want I think issue 11 needs to come out, or
Yeah.
10. I can't remember the last issue we got. It's been a bit.
I think 12.
No, I don't. We haven't got 11.
We haven't even got 11. Wow.
Yeah.
And like,
So
I know, yeah, these gaps suck because, all right, this is my first time reading reading the trade format. So, because I've had all the individual issues, right?
Yeah.
And the way the seamless way the trade flows, even in between issues, like there at a certain point, I was like, man, I must have read like 50 pages. How come it hasn't like given me the second issue yet? Like the first issue wasn't that long.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? That's how seamless the storytelling is if you read everything all together.
Agreed. Like, and I like that they don't break them up. But you know how like some trades they'll put the covers in there. I like when they don't.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's a testament, like you just said. Like you can't even tell. Like I was reading this is the second time I've read it in trade.
Yeah.
I still can't tell. I can't remember like where did this end? There's a couple pages where I'm like, oh, I remember that was a last page panel. Yeah. Like it was a full page or whatever.
Yeah. Like what when with Spencer and Aaron. That you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Spencer their relationship is so dope, dude. Like
I fucking love it, dude. I mean, well, let's tell a little bit about it. So Aaron, okay, so like we said, Spencer, his dad was writing him so hard because he was so far behind him. And since the Dales family is so well respected and is such a powerful family, he had such high expectations for Spencer. And since Spencer wasn't meeting them, like he fucking berate him. I mean, I think he called him a motherfucker at one point in one of the issues in the flashbacks. But Aaron, who's older, was almost like a surrogate son, right? Like to Spencer's dad. So he would always like treat him really well and protect him. And so Spencer grew up hating him.
Yeah, and then there's like that deep resentment.
Oh, dude. And then so what happens, and I won't get into this, but what happens and how their relationship moves forward because of some events that happen is brilliant, dude. Like the fact, so like in how they learn to relate to each other and come and understand each other because of a certain event. I mean, dude, that's an interesting concept of like to learn your enemy, to know your enemy, like fucking and to learn that like maybe we shouldn't have been hating each other all this time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's great.
And man, this both of it, like every character in here, like I'm very invested. Like even what do you call Spencer's dad? Like I want to know more. Like you know what I mean? Like even Gigi, who's the grandmother, who's kind of the matriarch of the family, but like unofficially. But like everybody holds her in high standards. Even the father, the mother, Spencer, Aaron, like they hold her in high standards.
That reminds me of like Bitterroot too, the grandma in Bitterroot.
Kind of. It's a very matriarchal thing, and like even she says like about Spencer's dad, whose name escapes me right now. Says that you have a lot of your father in you. You know, these are things that like I didn't pick up like early on, like reading the story, but like as we progress, going beyond this particular trade, like you see more of Spencer and his father like being much more alike than you think. And
right.
This in this story, like it says it in the beginning, like it's a story about fathers and sons and brothers. It's true. Like it's crazy. I know that Brandon Thomas writes a lot of himself in these characters.
Correct. Yeah, and you learn, and that's the thing you miss in the trade is that there's a lot of like text pieces in the back of the book, like essays almost that Brandon writes, or like explanations for like the book, or like Khary did that too. I think like during the Black Lives Matter movement, like they wrote some long text pieces that like if you're not reading those, you're missing the full scope and experience of what this book is.
Yeah. Like this is a very special book. This is one of those books that I feel like I could share with my kids. Like yes, there's cursing. There's occasional words in there that I can't say all the time. I can't say, and But like the thing is, it's the story of like the relationships between families and the family dynamic, and how regardless of stature and regardless of where you are, it's essentially the same dynamic, regardless of class, regardless of any of that, because you know it's a family story. It's a story about family and like the trials and tribulations and the lengths in which some family members will go to protect others, and save others. It's a very, I don't understand how this doesn't get more praise than it does than it is.
I know, dude. There's a lot of layers to this story. It's not just about a group of magic people that protect their charges. You know what I mean? Like that's surface level, but underneath is where you find the, well, no pun intended, but that's where you find the magic of this book.
Yeah, where you find the magic of this book. And let's talk about the art. Like I said it in one of my reviews that there's just this living graffiti feeling to it. It's crazy. Like
it's like having a hip hop song given visual form. You know what I mean? Like that's what I feel like. Like I hear a beat in my head sometimes when I'm like, look, especially the fight scenes. I think I even did. I think for issue 4 or 5, I can't remember the exact issue. I think I even quoted a song on one of my reviews, and it got Khary's attention. Oh, it was a Gangstar quote. That's what it was. So it's like, it's stuff like that like, I mean, we love hip hop, dude. We talk about it. We haven't really been doing too much of it on the show lately, but I love it, and it comes across as an influence in Khary's art. You know what I mean? Like you can see it and you can feel it when you're reading it and looking at it. And I mean, I think I even like thought Spencer Dale's like was almost like Nas, kind of like the character, a little bit from like Belly or whatever, right? But he's like, well, he kind of modeled him a little bit after Michael B. Jordan, which also you can see. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The art's phenomenal, dude. It's just
and you can tell the coloring. The coloring is just so freaking alive in this, dude.
Yeah, Emilio Lopez, dude.
Emilio Lopez definitely knows how to set a tone. He definitely does a lot of mood lighting. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, dude. He's like in charge of the magic, showing how the magic looks. So
freaking amazing, dude. I can't stop like praising like every aspect of this book. You know, that's it's just so freaking good, dude.
I know. I don't understand. Like you said, I don't know why people don't praise this enough. And like, I knew from the first issue, man.
Yeah,
I knew from the very first issue that this was something special. Yeah, excellence is real. This is something special, and I recommend it to a lot of people. You know, like I know it's, again, like we say, nothing. It's not for everybody, right? Not everybody is gonna like a book as much as we do. I don't see how you could read this and not like get pumped and want to read more. Like the kinetic energy in here with the fight scenes, the story with the family, and
just the concept. Just the concept of essentially freaking black ninja magicians.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
it's dope.
And this father and son like thing I mean, that's told in so many stories, but like it's coming at it from a little bit of a different angle in here, and like what Spencer's going to go through moving forward. Like we have read a few issues past this trade, but him wanting to take down the Aegis, you got the Overseer, like this mysterious villain, like, and you hear like the visions, like the voices that Spencer's hearing when he sees it, and we're learning and that Spencer's like really powerful, even though it took him a long time to get to where he is. Like he does have power that even his dad was like, what the fuck? How did you do that? You know what I mean? Like, and we get this little glimpses, like we'll see the past. And I like how they let us know when we're somewhere else because they put like what age Spencer is.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll see like age 4, age 10, age 17, age 19. So like we get a little jump into the future, because I think the main arc is when he's 17. I don't know. It's hard for me to really say much more on how much I love the book, considering that we've talked about it so much.
It's like the fight scenes, dude. It's like, oh man, it's like remember how they used to like on YouTube, like someone would post a video and it's like a hip hop song, but it's like the video playing, it's like a Dragon Ball Z fight scene. It's like this. This is what I feel. This is what I feel about like every single one of these. It's like, Khary Randolph specified that he did a lot of time in animation, right? He spent some time doing animation and doing a lot of concept art and all that stuff. But and it's totally apparent in these pages that like they're alive, they're moving, there's force behind every inch of line work. There's force behind everything. It's alive, dude. It's
dude, the energy exudes off the pages, dude. It's very few artists that I like really get that kind of feeling from, where like you can feel the energy like almost exploding from the pages. But like you got like I said, hip hop influence, manga. Dude, there's just so much going on, and Brandon, pair him with Brandon Thomas, and like, dude, they are just like such a great creative team together. Like, I want to see them do more projects together past this. Like,
yes,
like I think I even said like, who's gonna take over Black Panther when Ta-Nehisi Coates? I was like, dude, I would really love to see them get a crack at like a Black Panther book. Because could you imagine the fight scenes Khary would do with Black Panther, dude? I mean, come on.
Bro, could you imagine like a fight scene between like Ulysses Claw and Black Panther in a Brandon Thomas, Khary Randolph? Just with a lot of energy, bro.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's gonna be like I mean, if they're listening, if they ever hear this, friggin', I hope they make it happen. I cannot sing more high praises about it. Like I said.
Yeah, dude.
This Kickstarter that they're doing, it seems interesting. Like,
Oh, I'm really happy. Yeah, that's what I was actually just going to mention it. Like the Kickstarter, I believe, is launching this month. I don't know the exact date. I signed up for the alert so that I know when it goes live. The only thing that at first I was confused about is like, and I think that's why we haven't got issue 10 yet. Maybe we did, but like there's only going to be 9 issues. And Brandon Thomas, like, answered a question because somebody asked him like, well, how come like it's not volume 1 and 2, which would be 12 issues, right? But he said the hardcovers, plural, are going to be collected differently. Like, I don't remember how issue 9 ended. Maybe it's a good enough break. Like we said, it's very seamless in the trade when issues jump to the next right? So, but I mean, a lot of back matter. I'm definitely going to back it. I'll be one of the backers on day 1. If you guys haven't checked out Excellence yet, that might be a cool way to kind of, help bring that project to life and pick it up there.
And you become a part of something. Like that's what I like about this whole Kickstarter stuff. Like you become a part of something getting off the ground. You become a part of something that, like, for the most part, sometimes Kickstarters are only available to the people who back it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's an excellent way to like, diversify and mix up your collection as opposed to just having the big 2 or the big 2 plus image, or you know what I mean. I love Kickstarters. Kickstarters are great, dude. Like I think they're a fantastic concept, and I'm like, there's a lot of people who are supporting really shitty books out there. So why not support a good one?
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, I love hardcovers.
We don't need another issue of Cyberfrog. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. Please get rid of that shit. I mean, I don't know exactly the date. I'll try to find that. Maybe throw that link down below where you guys can at least sign up for the alerts. Yeah. But this is a book that is well deserving of attention. I mean, for the fact that Skybound is making this the first book they're doing through Kickstarter, because I think they're going to do more. I mean, that's kind of how I read the press release, was that this is just the first of many to come. Excellence is the first one to come out. Like that's dope, dude. And hopefully there's some, art tiers on there, or commission tiers on there, so I can get myself a commission. Hopefully it's not too expensive. I don't know, but
we'll see.
We'll see if I can afford that. I will back the hardcover no matter what, though. And I think that this has the potential to, be pretty successful on the Kickstarter. I think everybody I've recommended it to at the store has liked it. I think there's a couple people maybe that we've recommended it to, like on Instagram, that we're friends with on Instagram, maybe that didn't like it as much as we did. But overall, I think that the response to this book has been pretty well received. It's been positive praise. I don't know many people that don't like it. The writing, amazing. Like I said, like he gives you everything. He doesn't dumb it down for you. He like get like the backstory and the inner dialogue of Spencer, and these different relationships and explaining why he has his resentments and his rage are what make you really connect to him. Like I said, like for me, I think it's because I have so much anger inside me that like I really relate to him and why he's mad, and just seeing like the need to like appease or impress your parents, or like you know what I mean, like seeing that through this lens of like a storied family, right? But like obviously like you can relate to that. Anybody can relate to that type of thing of like needing to please your parents and not being good enough for them, and seeing how that can affect a kid throughout his whole life, and watching it progress from a little kid, right, to like when he was so happy to be with his dad, to like now, and he's like, I want to fucking almost want to kill you. Like I don't need you. I thought I needed your help. I don't need your help anymore. You know, I'm gonna do this solo, and that's a testament to the great creative team that has put this book together. So if you guys haven't, like I said, pick it up. If you want to wait to the Kickstarter, I think that would be even better, because I want to see this hardcover brought to life. I'm pretty sure it will. I don't see it not succeeding.
I don't see it not succeeding. Yeah, like across the board, like for the most part, like, you know, positive things about it. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not give it a shot?
Agreed.
Like, what do you have to lose?
You have nothing to lose. Only everything to gain. Yeah. But yeah, again, we love the book. And then before we get into like what we're excited for next episode, we will be talking about Power Man and Iron Fist by David Walker and
I've never read it, so I'm super excited.
Dude, I picked this book up single issues off of, I think it was Kevin's recommendation. Yeah. I think there was like 2 or 3 issues out, and I'm like, you know what, I'll just buy them. And then I added it to my pull, and it ended prematurely, in my opinion. It really pissed me off. It was only like 15 issues, I believe. So we're just going to be talking about the first volume. But you're going to love it, dude.
I can't wait. I'm super
It's excited. Awesome. That's why I was so pumped for Bitterroot before it came out. I was like, what are they going to do next? And then they announced a creator-owned book. I'm like, dude, fuck yes. And
Bitterroot is fantastic too. Like I binged the hell out of Bitterroot. I think I smashed through like before you and Jen and I talked about it, I smashed through like 9 issues in like one sitting.
Yeah. So like Dylan said, we've already done an episode on Bitterroot. That's why I probably would have picked that, and I didn't really want to pick volume 2 of Bitterroot. So I thought, let's shine some light on Power Man and Iron Fist, because I don't think enough people have read that book, and that's an awesome book by the Big Two, something that you don't normally see. Before we get out of here, let's talk about quickly the books we're excited for next week.
Wait, before that. So I picked this up. It's called The Aster of Pan by Marwan. I haven't read this.
I'm annoyed because I backed that on Kickstarter, and I still haven't got my fucking copy. Yeah, they had to send out a message to people. I saw it come in from Diamond, and I was like, I looked at Nick, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I backed this like almost a year ago. You know what I mean? Like, it's taken that long because of the pandemic. You can talk about it. You can pull it back. I'm just a little annoyed.
I haven't read it yet. Like, honestly, this is what happened. We got 2 copies in, right? One was for a customer, and I put it away like up close to his pull, and I opened it. I'm like, this is beautiful.
Yeah,
this is really freaking gorgeous. I've never heard of Marwan. I have no inklings of what this is, and I was like, you know what? I told Jose, the manager, was like, I'm borrowing this. I don't know how long I'll have it, but I'm borrowing it. He was like, okay.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, that's why I backed it, dude. I was like, I saw the Kickstarter, and I'm like, dude, this is dope. The only problem, I was like, fuck, dude. I'm like, I backed it on Kickstarter. I could have got this with my employee discount, and I would have got it sooner. But it's a Peach Momoko exclusive Kickstarter cover, which the cover looks beautiful, and
Peach
there's
Momoko everything.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like bonus, like, you know,
it's probably a thicker book too.
The stretch goals. There's a bunch of like free shit merch that comes inside with it. So yeah, I'm excited to read it. Maybe we'll do an episode.
Yeah, maybe we will.
If I get it soon enough before you have to bring it back, you know.
No, but it's fantastic. That's one thing I'm excited to read. Well, let me backtrack and let you fill you in what's going on. I'm almost 100% completely caught up with Venom. I'm like issue 26 right now.
I saw, yeah.
You know, I am on chapter 6 of X of Swords.
I know.
Yo.
I told you.
Yo.
Yeah, I told you.
I hit that Wolverine episode, and like the Wolverine chapter, and I was like, all right, this is for me. This is 100% all for me. Yes. I love this.
I agree.
Yeah, no, there's like a level of cheesiness to it, but like it's definitely a comic book. You know what I mean? Like a lot of this stuff, like you know.
But just wait, it's like it's so not what you would expect from this crossover. Cool. You know what I mean? Like I could not have foreseen most of what happened in the book. I'm like, I wouldn't even mind doing like an episode with you, like once you're done with it. Like
once I'm done with it. Yeah, once I'm done with it, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoyed how Storm got her sword. That was pretty cool.
I love Storm.
She's
such a badass.
Yeah, she is. And that's pretty much all the catching up. Oh, and Deadly Class.
I know it sucks that it doesn't come out on a more regular basis because it is one of my favorite series. It might even be one of my favorite series of all time, even at this point, and it's not even done. The art and the writing is just
good stuff, dude.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
Next week.
So this week, I'll just read off my polls. So I already talked about the Future State stuff on our Future State episode that I'm excited for. Got a new issue, Amazing Spider-Man. Black Hammer Visions, I'm pretty stoked on. We get to see some other creators. It's kind of an anthology book. So we got like Patton Oswalt is doing a story. Jeff Johns is eventually going to do a story. A bunch of cool creators. So I'm picking that up. I was going to wait for the trade, but they have a Gilbert Hernandez cover. So I'm like, okay, I'll buy that, you know? And then Daredevil, Eternals coming out. And Darth Vader. Oh, Radiant Black, new Image book coming out by Kyle Higgins. A lot of people are saying it's giving them Invincible vibes. I you know me, I don't like to read the PDFs they send us all the time, unless
I've had the PDF for like 3 weeks. I still haven't gotten around to reading it. I probably read I skimmed through like the first couple pages.
I skimmed through all the pages. I even went to the end. I didn't read anything, and I'm like, I don't know. Like I didn't read it, so like I can't judge the book if I just skim through the art. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's hard for me to like, unless like I've said, unless I'm going to talk to the creator of a book they send us a PDF for, I don't like reading it that way. I'd rather read it in the physical format.
No.
But it's getting a lot of praise already. A lot of from creators are saying it's going to be good. I do like the costume design. I think the costume design is pretty fucking dope.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that turns out. But I think like besides Future State, I think probably Daredevil and Eternals I'm most excited for.
Daredevil and Dark Detective.
Yeah.
The Future State stuff.
I know.
Like Rorschach 5 is coming out. Rorschach 4 was like I didn't whatever. Like it's very up and down for me. Like you notice, like the first issue, I'm not even gonna lie, I bashed it. Second issue got a little better. Third issue, really good. Fourth issue, meh. So fifth issue, I don't know what to expect anymore. Like this is a very rough emotional roller coaster here.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not like Strange Adventures where it's like
phenomenal.
It's good, but it's like it's good, but I don't know what's going on until like later. And I'm like, man, this is great. I now know everything that's going on. Kind of maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard for me. I told Nick too that I told him that there's a part of me that's having like not a hard time, but like on the level of wanting to read Tom King's writing.
Yeah.
You know, like I just wish he would have like just do question. Why are you doing Rorschach? Like I know that it was a question book by Jeff Lemire, but I mean we get 10 Batman books in a month, so why couldn't we have gotten 2 question stories within a year? You know, so it's I just don't. I mean, I'm curious about the writing aspect of it. I know the art is pretty good, but other than that, like, you know, it's just
It's definitely gonna be one of those things where I'm gonna like eventually come back to it and read it all in one sitting.
It
Or
might
like
be
all
better
in
to
one.
read it all in one sitting.
It might be better like that because although albeit being a Watchmen story, it's not like crazy wordy. Like even before Watchmen, before Mall Watchmen was rough too. But
I didn't read a lot of that stuff, so
it's pretty rough.
yeah.
But you know what I mean. Like this is easier. This feels easier to read than your typical Alan Moore story.
Because he's not Alan Moore.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Alan Moore. Yeah.
But yeah. So that's all I got for this week.
Yeah. Same.
All right. Well, if you're not already following us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Comic Lounge. You can follow Dylan at The Dillbot on Instagram. Make sure you throw your comments or suggestions down below, or you can also email us at thecomicloungepod@gmail.com, and make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid goes up. And on that note, we're out.
Later, buds.